the regional party director, oversaw that. A Labour Party spokesman was quoted by the local paper.
"We're concerned about people joining for the right reasons and are trying to prevent organisations filtering in who may try taking over the party by signing up and ousting existing members. We're sensitive following events with Militant a few years ago."
Look, why is the local Labour Party in special measures?
It's a question that you should direct to the regional office.
But you're the leader of the Labour Party in Tower Hamlets.
The London region could give that answer.
And we're quoting a Labour Party spokesman in our film as saying they are, quote, trying to prevent organisations filtering in who may try taking over the party. Is that something you're worried about?
I'm not concerned with that. I have not seen any signs of that. However, if the London Region Party have concerns, they will no doubt would have raised it and would raise it with Hamlet's Labour Party.
They've raised concerns quite recently, is my understanding.
There are some concerns that London Region have raised with London Hamlet's Labour Party.
What are those concerns?
And those are internal matters, party matters.
What are the concerns that they've raised?
There are internal party matters. I don't think I'm at liberty to discuss on TV or with you the internal workings of the Labour Party.
We managed to get hold of the local Labour Party membership list for 2006 and 2008, and we noticed some very unusual patterns. Almost everywhere else in the country, Labour Party membership has been in decline, but here in Tower Hamlets, it's more than doubled. One ward, Weavers, saw a 208% rise in those 2 years alone. Was that caused by a sudden localised rise in affection for the Labour Party in East London, or were there other factors at work? We discovered that in 2006, the local Labour Party was, like the borough, roughly 50% Asian and 50% non-Asian. But now, 90% of the new members have Asian names.
Elsewhere in the country, Labour membership has been falling. Here, it has gone up from 551 members in 2006 to more than 1,100 members in 2008.
Well, this clearly demonstrates the support that the Labour Party has in Tower Hamlets.
But why only in Tower Hamlets? What's so special about Tower Hamlets?
I don't know. You can go and ask the rest of the country.
It's suggested to us that that is because of infiltration by the IFE.
Andrew, what I will suggest to you, that is because the people of Tower Hamlets are very politicised, they're very conscious, they're committed Labour Party supporters.
There may be other groups at work in the factionalised environment of Tower Hamlets' Labour politics, but the local Labour MP believes that the IFE is at the very least among them.
They are acting almost as an interest organisation, placing people within political parties, recruiting members to those political parties, trying to get those individuals selected and elected so they can exercise political influence and power, whether it's at local government level or at national level.
I have a lot of respect for Jim. The comments he makes, they are his views. I'm working away very hard to make sure he gets re-elected. The comments he's made, those are his comments. I'm not going to comment on those comments.
But he's
what
the MP.
matters to me...
He's the MP for this area. He's the MP for the seat we're sitting in right now.
I cannot comment on what Jim has said. No other external organisation influences the Labour group.
Some community activists opposed to the IFE's fundamentalist politics have seen them progress in the borough, and it worries them.
People innocently donated money to build a nice place where they could pray peacefully and in comfort. It turned out that it's become a political base for a political party, which people knew nothing about. It's only a handful of people knew what they were doing.
And this is the IFE?
This was the formation of the IFE. So what they're now doing is they've tried to infiltrate into a mainstream party like Labour Party.
So let's start with the body where the IFE have made the greatest inroads, Tower Hamlets Council. One of our undercover reporters inside the London Muslim Centre won the confidence of leading IFE activists, and this is what they told him.
Okay. When they were building the Muslim Centre, we went through a tough time to get the Muslim Centre.
Right.
Like a protest.
Why was that though?
Because the council wouldn't allow it.
Oh.
But the years have gone by.
Yeah.
Our brothers have gone into those positions.
Right. Right.
The council positions, and we basically it was much easier to...
Yeah.
Our reporter was then invited to join them for the IFE's weekly radio show, Easy Talk. 6 senior IFE activists discuss current affairs and Islamic obligations most Saturday nights. A key presenter is Councillor Abjol Mir, who for many years was a leading figure in the IFE youth wing, although he now claims not to be a member of the IFE. With the microphones in the studio turned off, our reporter chatted to Abjol Mir.
What we've done then is we've actually consolidated ourselves. We've got a lot of influence and power. Councillors, politicians.
Councillor Mir has told us he wasn't referring to the IFE in that extract, but to Muslims in general. On Tower Hamlets Council, we're told, the IFE calls on allies who support its aims. It's also accused of using its influence to help its friends rise to power. These friends include the Labour leader of the council, Lutfur Rahman. Dispatches has been told that the IFE helped him win the support of Labour councillors.
The IFE was persuading people to support Lutfur by actually saying we could actually threaten to get you deselected and lose your seat at the next election and get respect in instead.
And that was what councillors said to you?
Councillors, yeah. There was one councillor in particular. He said to me, Ted, IFE, we're petrified by these guys. They've got us by the balls.
Can you name that councillor?
No.
Off the record, 6 people, including 5 serving Labour councillors, have told us that a senior member of the IFE went round canvassing councillors on Mr Rahman's behalf during the leadership campaign.
Did he canvass on your behalf in the leadership election?
Labour Party members across Tower Hamlets canvass for people when it comes to election. And there are various people across Tower Hamlets who get excited, who get involved, who enjoy...
Did he make any promises or threats to councillors on your behalf?
Under no circumstances.
That is the allegation from councillors to us, from some of your own councillors.
Sure. It saddens me. It concerns me. We have a proper process within terms of the Labour Party. No one should be going around making threats to anyone. I do not condone that kind of behaviour.
Life at the town hall started to reflect religious practices and demands.
Proceedings changed. Actually, they were adjourning more for prayer breaks. Occasionally, meetings were even cancelled for prayers, and sometimes even during Ramadan as well.
And 2 years ago, councillors attending meetings which did go ahead during Ramadan were met with a new request in an email from a council officer.
It suggested that all councillors should refrain from eating.
So councillors felt that they were being ordered not to eat during
Yes,
Ramadan?
there was certainly an implication of that.
What was your reaction to that?
I wasn't the councillor that raised it, but I was concerned because I do think this is a multicultural borough. I mean, and certainly the Muslim population is large and important, but it is not the dominant culture in the borough.
We've been told that at the annual Labour group meeting last year, a previous council leader, Labour's Halal Abbas, accused the IFE of controlling the council. Several councillors present have confirmed this to us. A wall of silence surrounds the council on this. None of the Labour councillors we've approached would talk to us on the record, but they are clearly very concerned, and councillors of all parties call a key council appointment into question. 18 months ago, the council needed a new assistant chief executive. It's the second most powerful job in the borough.
Very, very important. He's one of the members of the council senior management team and sits alongside the chief executive with the principal officers actually guiding the policies of the council.
Many well-qualified people applied, and some less well-qualified. One of these was a man called Lutfur Ali, who'd left a previous job in troubled circumstances. At Tower Hamlets, Peter Golds was a member of the panel that considered the candidates.
I thought his CV was completely inappropriate. In fact, it was downright dishonest. His CV states that he left the Fire and Emergency Planning Authority in July 2001.
Which isn't true.
Which is not true.
In fact, Lutfur Ali had to resign from the London Fire Authority in 2002. He had broken a basic rule of politics. His job at the Fire Authority was politically sensitive. He wasn't allowed to side with any one party, but he stood as a Labour Party candidate in local elections. Were you aware that he claimed on his CV to have left the Fire Authority in 2001, made no mention of the circumstances in which he actually left a year later?
He was employed by this authority well into 2002, and the reasons he left were well known, and they were to do with the council elections which took place in May 2002.
Would you have confidence in someone who admitted such a thing from his CV?
I think that in public and professional life you've always got to be fully open and honest on your CV.
The council's headhunters did not know about this, but even without it they had doubts.